Hello and welcome to this video where I'll show you how to play the bass line for the song Runout Groove from the album Revolutions, which is the new album from the band Resolution 88, which I'm part of. The song I chose is the fourth track, Runout Groove, of the A side, and I chose it because it's a fun bass line to play. It's not that easy, but it's not impossible. And it's quite fun to explore some ideas, especially in the B section, which I'll get to in a second. This is a new play-along idea available for multiple instruments that we in Resolution 88 are making available for anyone to get involved and share the performance via the social media hashtag ResoJam. So if you make a video of yourself playing and you want to share it, please put the hashtag ResoJam so we can find it and check it out, and others that are doing the same thing can also check out your version. So this will be the first of a series of videos where I'll break down the bass parts with a step-by-step guide on how I play the parts. There is a backing track available to download from the Resolution 88 website, as well as notation and tab PDF. The link is in the description of this video. If you like this idea and would like to see more, please subscribe and leave a comment with any song suggestions from the Resolution 88 catalogue that you would like us to cover. Right, so this song was written by Tom O'Grady as a tribute to the great bass player Paul Jackson. Paul was played in several albums including Headhunters and Thrust, which is a big inspiration for us in Resolution 88. Now have a listen to how the bass line sounds. I'll play it just on its own, and then I'll break down exactly what I'm doing. Right, there it goes. Right, so that's basically the whole of the A section. It is a kind of loop that goes round and round. I kind of stick to the bass line as it is, the part. I don't kind of move away from it very much at all. I tend to do that more on the B section, where there's more kind of space and where it is a better kind of section to do that in. So what I do is the first note I play is a A, and it's on the 14th fret of the G string, and I do a hammer on to the note B, which is the 16th fret of the G string. So it's a hammer on from A to B, and then a hammer on from G to A. So, and then this is the tricky bit if it's too fast. Sometimes our drummer Ric likes to count when he's excited, and there's a lot of adrenaline going on. He likes to count off things a bit too fast. So when he does that, it's hard to put all the elements of it in, but he tends to think about that just before he counts off, and then kind of slows it down a little bit, or just kind of puts it in the tempo that it should be. Anyway, so the next part is a rake of the harmonics of the 9th fret, which is like this, which sounds really nice. And the notes are, if you want to know the notes, so it's B, F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. So after the hammer-ons, you do the rake down, and then you jump immediately to the note D, which I play on the 5th fret of the A string, and then you go D, 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 E. It's like 3/16 notes in D, and then 1 in E. So it's quite a jump from the 16th fret all the way down to the 5th in very little time, but once you practice it slowly and get used to the to where all the notes are, it kind of makes sense. It's quite nice bass line to play. And then the next note is I do an octave in G, so it's the 3rd fret of the E string and then the 5th fret of the D string. Yeah, so I'll do the higher note of the octave first and the lower, and then I do a percussive note, like a ghost note, going to the A, which is the 5th fret of the E string. And then I go back to this area of the neck to do another series of hammer-ons, but this time I add one from G to A in the beginning. So it's G to A and then A to B. So that's the whole thing. So it's G to A, then A to B, and then another G to A. So it's, and then another rake on the 9th fret of the harmonics. And then D, 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 E again. And then at the end of that, I do a rake of the 9th fret again. But this time, instead of kind of, I'm trying to play every note of the harmonics on the 9th fret at the same time, which is not possible, but I try and fit them in as closely as I can on that beat, yeah? So that kind of thing, right? And that's the whole A section. The only difference is on the second time round on the loop, instead of doing that rake or trying to fit in all the notes on the harmonics, I do an open E. Alright? So I'll just play the whole thing again. So so at the end of the A section, there's a little break where I kind of do play like a D and a 5th away from D, which is note A. It kind of it stops for a second, and I kind of, not in any particular time, play a D over the chord that's going on, which is kind of a D minor kind of chord. And that is the beginning then of the B section. So the drums come in for about 4 bars, and then the bass line starts again. So it's very similar, but down a tone. There's just a couple of things that I don't do. So in the B section, I can't do those harmonics anymore because it doesn't match the harmony that is going on. So I tend to do a couple of things. One is going down like the octave and the 5th of D. So D and A. So that kind of thing, right? So I'm kind of raking down those notes. So it starts on G with a hammer onto A, and then F to A to G. So that's the kind of thing I tend to do most of the time. And sometimes I do a more of a like ghost note version of that rake. It all depends on what's going on, how I'm executing the bass line. It varies, but it's either the notes or the ghost notes or a mixture, right? So, and then it's the same G to A, and then back to F, just like on the A section. I add another hammer on, a low F, and it's always a low F at the end of the bass line in the B section. There's no kind of raked harmonics because it just doesn't fit the harmony. Okay. The fun thing about the B section is that once you establish the bass line for a bit, go around, and the melody is played, the Rhodes solo starts, and this is where the bass line can start. You can start exploring new ideas. You can go away from that rigid bass part and start making up your own lines, trying to react to what's going on, try to add to the solo section. There's a lot going on in the drums and the percussion, which I try to get ideas from and to kind of support. And it's a fun section. You can really explore and go to lots of new places, and it's all kind of in the sort of D minor tonality, okay, like a D minor 7. Okay, so that's the section where you can have fun, open up to new ideas, and give it your own kind of give it your own identity if you want. So have fun with it, and don't forget to share your version of it using the hashtag ResoJam so we can check it out. And the main thing is have fun with it. Now I'm going to play a whole take.